Shalom, everyone. In Numbers chapter 9, we read that the Israelites celebrate Pesach for the first time in the desert. Exactly a year after the Exodus, they are celebrating Pesach in the desert. And there are some problems that are coming to the fore when they are celebrating this Pesach for the first time in the desert. One of those problems is that there are people who are impure because they touched a dead person, and they cannot celebrate the Pesach on the appointed time. So they come to Moses and ask him, "What shall we do? We are obligated to celebrate Pesach, but we cannot because we are impure, unclean." Well, Moses is going to ask God, and God answers, and he says, "Well, I will give you the Pesach Sheni, the second Pesach, and that Pesach should be celebrated exactly 1 month after the first Pesach, so on the 14th day of the second month. Then is the Pesach Sheni, the second Pesach, and you should celebrate it. If you could not celebrate the first Pesach, you should celebrate Pesach Sheni on the appointed time." Well, that's wonderful. God is adjusting to the situation, and he sees that the people are not able to perform the command, and that they are not able to celebrate Pesach. And he adjusts to the situation, and he gives an exception to the rule. That's beautiful. It points to God's patience, and that he wants to think about our situation and what we can and what we cannot do. He is not asking the impossible of us. He is trying to make us obey the Torah, the commandments. He is helping us in this way. That's the heart of the Father. He wants to teach us his laws, and he wants to help us to obey them. So he gives them a second chance to celebrate Pesach. Well, there is something beautiful in this. There are 2 Pesachs. Other feasts are not double, but the Pesach is a double Pesach. It's celebrated the first Pesach and the Pesach Sheni. And that points to the fact that there are needed 2 exoduses. The first exodus was only out of slavery of Egypt, but we need a second exodus, a spiritual exodus, out of the slavery and the bondage of sin. And even the Israelites who were led out of Egypt, they are in need of a new exodus, a spiritual exodus. They also need to be led out of slavery to sin. Well, that second Exodus, the Pesach Sheni, Yeshua came to bring into this world. When Yeshua came into this world, he died on the cross to lead us out of bondage to sin. He led us out of the slavery of sin. And he put us in a place where we can live a holy life instead of obeying the sin. And this is a second chance that Jesus gives us, and the second chances should be taken very seriously. The people who were called to celebrate Pesach Sheni, they had to do it, because there was not a 3rd month in which they could celebrate Pesach, or a 4th month. It must happen in the 2nd month. There was only a second chance. That teaches us that second chances should be taken very seriously. Jesus came into this world to give us a new chance. He led us out of the slavery of sin, and he said, "Now live a holy life." And Jesus made this very clear in John chapter 8. In that chapter, we read that the Jewish leaders bring an adulteress to Jesus, a woman who was caught in the deed while she was doing stuff that she should not do. And she was brought before Jesus, and Jesus doesn't want to condemn her. But the law says that this woman should be stoned to death. So in the end, Jesus answers, "He who is without sin can throw the first stone." And all the people that were around him, they all acknowledged that they were not without sin. So they left one by one, and nobody threw a stone at the woman. And in the end, everyone had left, and only Jesus and the woman were there. And then Jesus said to the woman, "Where are your accusers? Who has condemned you? No one?" And the adulteress says, "No, no, sir, no one has condemned me. They're all gone." And then Jesus says, "Well, I will not condemn you either. You are free. I forgive you." But then he says something very important. He says to this woman, he says, "Go and sin no more. Go and sin no more." So he gives a second chance to this woman, but he says, take this chance seriously. Go and sin no more. And that's what Jesus says to all of us. He says, "I have forgiven you. I've given my life to you. If you believe in me, you are free of sin and free of guilt. You are forgiven, but go and sin no more." We should not go on with a sinful lifestyle. And of course, we are not perfect when we are walking with Jesus. Sometimes we fall into sin, and then there is the grace of God to keep us going. But this should not be an excuse to just live in sin and just commit sin every day. No, we should go and sin no more. We should do away the sins from our lives, and we should choose a holy lifestyle. We should follow Jesus and do good works instead of bad works. Read the chapter chapter 6. It's written that we are not slaves to sin anymore. Jesus delivered us from the slavery of sin. So we should not obey the sins anymore. We should live a holy life instead. Jesus saved us in order that we could live a holy life. So do away all sins from your life. The Holy Spirit is going to help you with that. Move along with the Holy Spirit and remove the sins from your life and live a holy lifestyle. Go and sin no more. Thank you for watching this video. This video is part of the weekly Torah explanation, explaining how the Torah talks about Jesus and the work of the Holy Spirit. If you don't want to miss any new video on this YouTube channel, you can click on the candle, the menorah, that appears in your screen. You can also take a look yourselves at the playlists or the other videos on this channel. Be blessed.